Welcome back to Bizarre Regs, the channel where we dive into the weirdest laws and regulations from around the world. Today, we're off to Poland, where there's a bizarre law involving everyone's favorite honey-loving bear. Apparently, it's illegal for Winnie-the-Pooh to appear on clothing in certain areas, specifically around schools and playgrounds. But why would anyone ban such a beloved character? Let's find out. Winnie-the-Pooh is known throughout the world as a sweet, cuddly bear who spends his days hanging out with his buddies in the 100-acre wood. So why was this seemingly benign figure banned from appearing on apparel near schools in Poland? The rationale is much more bizarre than you may expect. The debate began a few years ago, when a Polish local government was considering which cartoon characters to include in a new children's playground. During the discussion, someone raised the concern that Winnie-the-Pooh wasn't exactly wearing appropriate attire. After all, he's got that red shirt, but no pants. And that's where the problem started. Some council members felt that Winnie-the-Pooh's lack of trousers made him unsuitable, particularly in a place frequented by young children. They thought it sent the wrong message, or was inappropriate for children to observe despite the fact that the character is meant to be entirely innocent. As a result, a decision was made to restrict Winnie-the-Pooh's use in specific settings such as playgrounds and apparel near schools. Most people might believe that this is an example of overthinking. After all, it's only a cartoon bear. But it's not entirely unheard of for local councils to make these kinds of decisions, especially when it comes to maintaining a specific standard for what's considered child-friendly. It's also worth mentioning that Winnie-the-Pooh isn't the first character who has faced similar scrutiny. There have been numerous cases across the world when cartoon characters have been banned or restricted owing to worries about their look, conduct, or even cultural representation. In this case, it appears that poor Pooh Bear got caught up in a dispute over decency and what is appropriate for young children. The law, or more specifically, the municipal regulation, has had little effect on Pooh's general popularity in Poland. Winnie-the-Pooh is still popular among children, and toys, books, and clothing can be found all across the nation. It's more about keeping his picture out of locations where officials believe it would be perceived as improper. So, what does this mean for tourists visiting Poland? Well, if you're planning a trip and are a huge fan of Winnie-the-Pooh, you ought to leave your Pooh-themed t-shirts at home, at least while visiting playgrounds or schools. Otherwise, you may receive a few strange looks, or maybe a gentle warning that it is not quite appropriate. This is one of those instances where a beloved childhood figure becomes entangled in a bureaucratic decision that seems to take things too seriously. But, well, rules are rules, no matter how odd they are. Thank you for joining me today as we discussed why Winnie-the-Pooh's red shirt and lack of trousers made such a commotion in Poland. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to ensure you never miss another episode of Bizarre Regs. Do you know of any other cartoon characters who have been into legal trouble? Drop them in the comments below. This is Bizarre Regs, keeping it weird one character at a time. Boomis.